Okay, so we're going to be going over the history of elected admin here with you. This video will be sort of edited. Well, not really be edited, but it'll be sort of edited in post. Well, not really, because we don't have anything to edit out. So, okay, so here, this was Flamingo era, not Flamingo, Flamingo. And in this era, Flamingo played the game, and he made videos on it. The game of elected admin hit peaks of like 10,000 players, assuming each of them generated about 5 cents a day for electrolyzing. That was $500 a day. However, the success should have lasted, but did it? No. Why? Well, there's three major factors that I pinpointed. We're gonna go ahead and tell you all of those major factors. So, this is the wall of factors that led to the destruction of elected admin. The higher they are, the more important it is. First most important was, well, Flamingo leaving. He stopped making content on the game. And whenever your content creators leave, you sort of have to get new content creators, of which there were none. The only other content creator that I know of that still makes videos in the game is this dude. You should absolutely sub to him. Happy EA27. Even then, he started to branch out from Elected Admin only. So, Elected Admin is truly dying. That's something I have to say. And is development ending? No, it's not. Probably not, at least. It might be, but it's not going to truly die. What about the second reason? Well, the second most important reason was, well, the economy update. What did the economy update add? You may be asking. It added a lot of things, like Minium and credits and trading, which is a lot of good and good. There's a lot of things that the majority of people nowadays do like. However, a lot, and when I say a lot, I mean a lot of these things just weren't really the best. Like, they made it so that some blocks required credits to place, and although that absolutely reduced the prevalence of griefing, I'm pretty sure that TNT wasn't originally one of those blocks, but it was things like the anchor, the magnet, blocks that pretty much everyone wanted to use. The more blocks people wanted to use, they got the costs of credits. They were more powerful blocks, but they were also blocks people wanted to use, so yeah. And then the third most important reason, the prevalence of raiders / griefers. So, why did this occur? Well, Elected Admin's mom, Electrolyzing's mom took all the money he made from Elected Admin for herself. Now, you know how he can't really moderate the game himself? Because, could be focused on developing. He could, but also he's really young, and so he has to do schoolwork, and eventually might have a part-time job, too. I'm pretty sure he's too young for a job, but I do not know. And, well, the thing is, he can't really moderate on his own, so he gets moderators to do it. But you know what happens when you don't pay your moderators? Because you can't pay your moderators? They abuse their powers. They absolutely abuse their powers. And people have been bribing them because the moderators don't get money otherwise without them being bribed. So that's why. So, and then what occurred is that what used to be like things on average going to 4,000 CCU at any given time went down to similar numbers to today, but not the same numbers, but slightly better. It went down to about 550 CCU on average. So how did it fall down further? Well, the reason why is because people quit and they would not be. And then people started to quit the game, you know? And so people really started to quit the game, and that's why it occurred. We had some pretty good updates during this time. Now, what were the updates that are pretty good? Now, there's really only one that I can really pinpoint for this one, and it's, well, the clans update. well, there actually are a few. We'll put 3 updates here. Most important one was not the clans update. It was disable griefing and also higher levels. Very good update, and it led to a bit of an upsurge in the community. It's very popular for the majority of people. Almost everyone agreed with it. Some people didn't, and I understand those. And then of course, breeding was already criminalized, and disable griefing completely destroyed griefing. And then we had the next biggest update, which was clans. They were insanely popular insanely important whenever they started. But for nowadays, it's just if you find someone in the same clan, it's more of just like, or what? It's like not important. Clans are not important in gameplay. I would recommend, I tried to do a clans overhaul eventually. We can't force them to do it though, so we're not doing it. It's probably not doing it. And he might just completely in development of Elected Admin, but I don't think he will. He's still a pretty popular game. Then we have a third thing, which was save slots. This is the most recent major good update. The thing about it is it requires such a massive mini level to load, and it was incredibly hard to notice how they work, and also, but then we have, this was before the lag machines occurred, and then it started to become annoying to have to mine so then we had this, reached the modern era. I had a bit of so it's right here where we hit the final downfall. They had a bit of an uptick after this, reaching about 50 CCU after these updates. But this is where we see the final falling. We have about one good factor in all of this, but so the good factor, which is the least effective of these, is what we call it, is seasons. However, the top factor was, well, people not being engaged. This was a pretty bad. Seasons were pretty good, but they did not bring it up enough. And although they've allowed the popularity is pretty much stabilized now, it's still going in like a bit down as time goes on, which is what the Elected Admin Revival wants to correct. So the next thing that was pretty important was the that caused this was it was the banning of so many of the leaders. I don't know why they all got banned, but it probably was because they were pretty controversial figures, and well, many popular figures got banned. Not like just from Elected Admin, but from Roblox as a whole, which was pretty bad. And then we get to the modern era that we're in. Well, it's not looking good for Elected Admin. We've gone down for that 600 CCU to about 350 CCU plateau. And it completely plateaued now, meaning there's little chance of it going up or down without a flooding. This is what the EA Revival wants to correct. I think we really aren't getting any updates now. And so, well, goodbye, people. This has been a good video. Goodbye.